Alright, let's try this shit again. Okay, so in 5 minutes, this should go live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Isaac Hansen Casts Dota 2. This is a RD2L game that I'm going to be casting live on Twitch. There's also going to be a recording that will go up on my weird YouTube channel that I think I still have by virtue of going to university. It's like attached to my U of A Google account or some shit. This will probably be semi-professional, all things considered. But we shall see. Alright, let's look. Get back to this game with King RD playing the Dark Willow. Why mech? I guess it works better with pixie dust? Maybe? I don't fucking know. It's also not my responsibility to know. But the game is delayed in terms of starting, or at the very least it seems to be. Again, shout out to It's Turbo Time for the I Think You Should Leave reference. It's a good show. Hence why I'm casting this game. They go on to the TA, there's a sleep, there's a stun, there's just a taunt. Basically, every single disable, one of each, getting the pick off. Ooh, it's very important to get that kill. Vital for preserving morale. In comes Yellow Flash, the legend. He gets taunted as well. Out comes the damage from that Elder Titan ult, and it looks like in the time that I have stopped watching, the Dire have just full-on crumbled. 14k gold behind. That victory graph is not looking nice for them. A 95 to 5% win probability. I'd say they're cooked. On the bot lane, Weaver, trying to get something done. But, ooh, that was spooky. I thought I was going for the full roll with the remnants. I might be able to catch the Weaver there, but Weaver's just going to cut that wave. Get some more farm. I had a support Weaver the other day. They got their shard. I just farmed the bejesus out of the map and ended up carrying me. I'm not going to say it's because I was pathetic. But you know, that would be that's just something y'all can infer. Morphling. He's got a Manta. He's got a Scotty. He's got a Conda. Very helpful. Zeus dropping the ulti, revealing the smoke that is coming towards the Roshan pit. This is a admirable attempt by the Dire, but we'll see if it gets anywhere. Zeus is exposed. But they're not popping on those illusions. They know they're illusions, and they're pushing ever closer to the Roche pit. Axe lingering off in the trees. He wants to get that initiation on. They have the vision. Ooh. Jumping through on Ember, jumping back in on Ember. Out comes a tiny toss. Axe taunt misses. They're all just selling out on the Roshan, trying to see who can get that Aegis. Axe manages to grab the Aegis. He is now just going to clean up this fight. Morphling dies, but it doesn't matter. They still have enough damage. Maybe it does matter. Nope, it definitely does not matter. They get the kill off onto the Ember. And they're chasing now, trying to see if they can find more. A lot of damage just from that Magnetize onto the Weaver. They might die. Drops another Remnant. Weaver definitely ticks out to it, and that's a godlike spree for this Earth Spirit. An Octarine Core, a Blade Mail, a Spirit Vessel, a Kaya and Sanj. This is a tanky, tanky boy. And now they have the banner, so they can give their creeps invulnerability. Really, you just sort of need it to catch the few at the back. That way they don't die to the fort. And it's also more difficult for the opponent to kill the Roshan's banner. I think that's the reason why they've been placing it back there, or at least more teams have been placing it back there. And I'm going to leave this because it looks like we are good to go now, whenever. And that way we can hop into that lobby and hop into that draft. For those of you who haven't seen an RD2L game, or RD2L game, they're usually a bit of a shit show, but they're still fun. I played in one a couple seasons ago, back when I had time to sort of be good at Dota and be dedicated, and it was a good time. Would very much recommend for people to play in it. It's also a good opportunity to learn. I played with a guy a couple seasons back who wasn't Legend. Was he Archon? He was Archon, but now he's Divine. So he has absolutely superseded me, and I like to think that that's because I taught him everything I knew. But we know that's not the case. Lone Druid ban coming out, and the Centaur and the Doom bans. The Doom ban, I think, makes sense. There's a couple different players on this team. So I looked at their Dota buff. I saw Lone Druid actually was quite played by one of them, but I can't alt tab to that now because then it lags out Dota, and that's not really a good viewing experience for everybody.
Ten seconds remain. Dial team ban. Radiant team ban. 10 seconds remain.
A lot of tanky heroes being banned out by the Dire. Probably don't want to get trapped in a game where their carry just can't kill anyone. I do also know that there also do seem to be semi-off-lane targeted bans with the Centaur, the Doom, and the Timber. Maybe they know something that I don't. Banning out the Sand King as well. I actually don't think Sand King is particularly strong this patch. Maybe I'm wrong. And they picked the Shadow Shaman. And then the instant Slardar pick. Slardar's still strong, even from the last patch. He was flexed by Heroic to a mid laner at one point in the most recent Dream League series. I mean, they didn't do very well, so take what you want from that. But certainly something to keep in mind. The Shaman is almost certainly going to be a support. Cluster Cluck is a hilarious spell, as well as effectively having just requiring one extra hit from the enemy to kill you, can really be effective in the laning stage. Lifestealer ban. Lifestealer is quite weak now, to be honest. I'm surprised that they banned him. I guess maybe they think the Slardar pick might be covering for the Lifestealer, because Slardar is a good hero against Lifestealer. But personally, it's not a hero that I would think they would pick up.
Dial team ban.
So Jug being banned as a carry, that's something that's interesting. Definitely a better hero. Seen a lot of people going for that Egg Scepter earlier, just based off of what that brings with the new, duelist skills. The extra damage that it gives to Swift Slash and the extra damage that it gives to Omni Slash make him a bit better of a hero. Now they are taking some reserve time on these bans, trying to think about what they want to pick up next. Interestingly, no bans on the TA, no bans on the Axe. Legion Commander was pretty broken until she got her, I guess her recent nerf out of that Stonehall Plate ability. There's also that weird AoE dual ability. Not that it wasn't fun, but it was just a little bit powerful. So what I'm saying is I'm surprised there's no bans on the TA and no bans on the Legion Commander. Sniper banned out. I wouldn't be too worried about that at this stage. They didn't really ban out any heroes that were good against Sniper. Maybe they're worried about one particular person on the enemy team, but that just seems a little out of place to me.
Radiant team, pick.
I like the Rubik pick. I mean, good spells to steal off of Shadow Shaman, and it kind of dissuades you from picking any big team fight ultis. I like the Tide Hunter, like the Enigma, just because, you know, he's potentially going to be able to use them against you quite...
5 seconds remain. Radiant team, pick.
Then they go for the Wraith King. I've seen this Wraith King picked up a lot. And the Axe. The Axe also seems to be quite strong. I've seen the Wraith King picked up a lot. I'm not sure if his Spectral Blade is actually worth it over the Skeletons. I think the Spectral Blade does do a lot of damage, but the Skeletons, the way they let you shove the waves in that mid-game, might make it more beneficial than simply having that extra damage. They do at least have the Axe and the Shadow Shaman who are, you know, can shove lanes in their own ways. So maybe they don't need that, and he can go with the Spectral Blade, but I'm not quite certain how that works. A lot of the times, you know, we saw in the Dream League finals and the Dream League lower bracket finals, people picking this Wraith King and then just sort of getting bodied. Maybe that was just more of a team matchup thing, but I don't ever recall him doing particularly well or any games going his way, in part largely because of him. So I think you now have the offlane confirmed as a Slardar Rubik and a safe lane AA. It's not certain where the Shadow Shaman is going, but I think you can pick your carry now. As the Dire, you know you'll probably be going up against an Axe. You want to maybe get something with a little bit of range, but something that isn't too worried about getting caught by a blink taunt. A Luna might be nice, a Gyrocopter might be nice, just two heroes that, you know, even if they get caught by Axe, it's not like that's the absolute end of the world for them. As opposed to something like a Drow in comparison, where if you get jumped, you're in a really, really rough spot. The AA is also reasonably good against the Wraith King. They are running very low on their reserve time. They need to make a pick. I hope no one disconnected.
The sun has set as bleak.
And they pick Terrorblade. Personally, I don't agree with that. His ability to split push has been heavily restricted by the changes to his illusions being weaker. Wraith King probably can go Radiance. Axe is adept at dealing with the illusions. I am not certain where that Terrorblade fits into this game. You know, AA can secure his lane fairly well, but he's going to run into some problems. The Undying pick, I just like Undying. I'm a fan of him. As much as he is a smelly zombie, his ability to just dominate lanes is really important. Strength Steal's gonna matter less this game against the AA, but at the very least he will be able to have something of a game. So, offlane is probably gonna be Axe Undying, safe lane is gonna be Shadow Shaman, Wraith King. Looking at these lane matchups, I think the Slardar Rubik should win against the Shadow Shaman Wraith King. And the AA, if they play the lane right, can definitely hold their own against the Axe and Undying. I think we're going to see what's coming out of mid lane, and you know, decisions are going to have to be made there. But right now I'm favoring the lanes for Dire. I think they'll win top lane, come out even in the bot lane. But I do think they're going to have some problems transitioning mid-game.
Radiant team down.
The Viper Band is handy, maybe betraying that they want to pick some kind of melee mid laner. Not certain what they're thinking, but they did ban out the Void Spirit. Maybe they're going to ban out the Dragon Knight. I know his numbers got nerfed, but if you've been playing a hero like that, maybe you're comfortable playing it still, despite the nerfs.
Radiant team pick.
Necro's banned. Okay, so I could see them picking a tankier mid laner. Wouldn't mind an Earth Spirit getting picked up in this situation. In the pub we were watching earlier, we saw that being fairly effective.
10 seconds remain. 5 seconds remain.
I also think the Earth Spirit would just be good against what the enemy team has. The ability to get on the AA, dump out the magic damage. So that's the pick I'd like to see. Now, in this situation, yeah, they go for the Zeus instead. So, some good magic damage. You got Rubik, you got AA, who you can burst through pretty quickly, and, I mean, the Terrorblade illusions and Terrorblade himself, high base armor, not a lot of magic, well, standard amount of magic resist, but not a lot of HP when it comes to the magic damage. I was going to say, I maybe would have picked that a little faster just to keep the time pressure on the opponent, now that they've had the ability to plan.
Captain's mode.
And the Dragon Knight comes out as the last pick.
Captain's mode.
Cluster Cluck taken by the Shadow Shaman. Going to have the ability to put that under one-man army. Getting that extra armor is helpful. We'll see what comes out for everyone else. The Arcane Accumulator, I am pretty sure that is the... What is it? When you steal spells, they get a bigger AoE. Which is interesting. And the Dragon Knight taking that corrosive dragon form, going to be very helpful in terms of taking towers. But now, as we get into the game, it will be time to party. Or at least partially time to party, once we're through the strategy time and everyone's figured out what the fuck they're doing. Yeah, Wraith King went for the Spectral Blade. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, like I said, they do have other ways to shove, especially with Zeus. He goes the Divine Rampage, so I think when he ults, if it kills someone, so the ult like chains through people, but if it kills someone, the damage gets increased. Stardar as well getting Brine Guard. That means that when he does damage, or no, sorry, he gets plus armor for every instance of minus armor that's on enemy heroes. That's most often going to be his Corrosive Haze. And a lot of tricked out heroes, a lot of gold bling in this game. So we shall see who wins. I mean, A has got 6 arms, so that's gotta be unfair. Alright, so, formally introducing the teams. Is this fucking broken? Can I not? Oh, yes, now I can move. Okay, we got Wolfie Delta playing the Dragon Knight. He is gone for that Corrosive Dragon form. We got MIPZ playing the Slardar, has the Brine Guard, giving him that extra armor. Turbo Torqued, going a lane as the Rubik, has the Arcane Accumulator, get murked on that AA, and Sikkim playing the Terrorblade. I gotta go quickly, there might be in Demon on the Shadow Shaman. Toppy Top Pot playing, yeah that's right, playing the Undying. Axe walking in, level 1. Just very confident, very ahead of his team, but Easy Sky, he's like, this is gonna be an easy game. He's already riding at him. Godlike Matt on the Wraith King, and Zamolxes on the Zeus. Early tips coming out,
30 seconds until the
and some interesting early wardage. Do I like the sword? No, I don't like the sword. Not for the laning stage. You're just kind of sacrificing your ability to actually play where the play matters for the next couple of minutes. You know, it's going to last for another 5 minutes, but how many rotations are you really going to have in 5 minutes? If anything, it's going to die right before you need it. But anyways, they seem to be going on in Demon, using that ward to great effect to get that kill. The Hex comes out, and they actually manage to get him with the First Blood going to, what's his name? The Terror Blade. That's going to help him get those items faster. An Axe TPs to the safe lane. However, he's low on HP. I take it back. I was completely wrong about that ward. A Zeus versus Dragon Knight matchup. I could see this both just being they farm unless something has fundamentally changed over the last few days, if these tweaks have done anything. On the bottom lane, we have Rubik and Slardar against the Wraith King and against the Undying. I think actually this lane is going to be pretty tough with Undying here helping out. Not going to be a lane that's happy for them. And as I say that, they go on to MIPZ. He's trying to run away. The Blood Grenade coming out for that kill secure. And Rubik was unable to do anything. Fade Bolt coming out at the last minute, but not enough. On the top lane, Terrorblade against Axe with a supporting cast of Shadow Shaman, as well as AA. No ability skilled yet for Shadow Shaman, holding on to them. He did get gone on that top rune. Pole camps top are blocked, so no neutral creeps will bear witness to the combat. Conversely, on the bottom lane, it looks like both these camps have already been unblocked? No, they were not blocked in the first place. They were just body blocked. MIPZ smoke to get back down to the safe lane. His TP apparently on cooldown. Good use of a smoke. Very clever. I always forget to do that. So it's good for him. On the top lane, it looks like they're going on to the Shadow Shaman. He's walking it off, but the spins are now coming out onto the Terrorblade, trying to get back under the tower. Out comes the Blood Grenade. They kill him. Will the AA manage to claim the life of the Shadow Shaman? He will not, and he backs off. The wave is coming in. That top lane, I feel like that was always going to be tough. And I miss a kill on the bottom lane. The lane's doing fairly well here for the Radiant. That's a lot of damage, but not enough to finish him off, and they just retreat on the Undying. See what happens. As his decay fades, he'll get, you know, relatively more lifesteal. Oh, almost drops there to the well-placed Fade Bolt. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, I apologize. I have not had the last hits up. It's W, Isaac. Zeus is doing quite well against the Dragon Knight. That's always going to happen. His ability to last hit with Arc Lighting, it's pretty tough for Dragon Knight to reliably deny creeps against him. So he's been getting his own fair share of CS there. Going 15-0. Trying now to go onto the Zeus, but may have overextended a little bit. Zeus doesn't want to sacrifice the mana to try and get that kill. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Slardar dropping low, but not low enough to pose a concernable threat. It's a little concerning that even at this stage they cannot push back the Wraith King from farming under his tower. He's in fact going to be able to just walk over, pull their own creeps back, and contest that. Does have that Spectral Blade, which is maybe doing a little bit more damage. But we'll see. There's a very big creep wave pushing in now, and the Dire aren't going to have a chance to really recover. Or, I don't know, they could probably just run at him with this bigger creep wave, honestly. We'll have to see what exactly happens. So everyone is CSing well. The Dire and the Radiant seem to be in a bit of a deadlock, less than a 1k gold lead. It is only 4 minutes in, however, so we will have to see about that. Terrorblade in this top lane does have his game cut out for him, but he, at the very least, already is able to get some reasonable CS despite coming under early pressure in that top lane. Shadow Shaman making stacks in the jungle. Going to help accelerate that Axis game. Potentially the Zeus as well, if he's feeling greedy and like he wants to steal it. But I do think getting items up on the Axe is going to help close down the map more than items on the Zeus. Axe trying to go for his phase boots, getting those built up. Shadow Shaman on the back line kills the counter ward at the very least, and now is making a play onto Terrorblade. Terrorblade getting hit with the Battle Hunger and is getting chased down. A ward gets dropped to the high ground. Out comes the taunt. That was always going to be optimistic at best, but maybe he cannot walk it off. The Aether Shock coming out to get that kill. So, despite being able to recover a little bit in the CS, he dies, and now the AA is potentially getting dove, gets taunted, and just gets killed. Not able to return enough damage to get revenge on the Axe. They make off like bandits on the top lane, even putting the Bracer in his backpack for some reason. Now he puts it back in. Okay. The rune top is a shield rune, picked up by the Dragon Knight. That's going to be quite helpful for him. Allow him to maybe put some pressure onto this mid tower with that extra HP barrier he has. But on the bot lane, nothing is happening. They are just being very scary people. These two strength cores bullying that Rubik. Maybe one day Rubik will be able to bully them back when he steals their spells, but that's not this day.
Radiant's middle tower is threatened by fiends.
I did point out he would try and do some damage to that tower, and doing the damage he is. Rotating over the Shadow Shaman to help alleviate some pressure, but it isn't enough. Shadow Shaman going to be stacking again. Good for him. Good that he does this. I wouldn't remember to do this. I would probably be doing absolutely nothing behind my Axe top lane at the moment. Ooh! A kill on the bot lane, and indeed turning that into a twofer. They at least get the Wisdom Rune, but they have to give up 2 lives to do it. And so the Wisdom Rune, even though it does go their way, they give a lot of experience to that Undying, something that he is going to love. In Demon, also picking up the Wisdom Rune of the Radiant. So this laning stage, 7-1 in kills, Terrorblade already forced to the jungle. Things seem to be going very, very well for the Radiant. If I'm being honest, I was surprised they weren't able to put more pressure on that bot lane, but we shall see. There is a fight here at Slardar. Just right-clicking him, just showing him who's the boss. Wraithking says, "It's not you," and Slardar says, "Yeah, it's Undying," and runs away as soon as he shows up. Dragon Knight, looking to turn things around here, picks up a haste rune and is running towards the top lane. Axe is now a little low, and they're TPing in on Undying. They grab the Dragon Knight. Undying gonna try and steal some strength. Dragon Knight doesn't want them. He's trying to dive. Now he settles for the Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman pops the foul play and runs away. 2-minute cooldown on that. Longer than I would have thought. And he lives. That's a situation where previously he would not have lived. So he's buffed. Meanwhile, Zeus gets the opportunity to punch his tower back. This is Dragon Knight. You're not the only one who can punch towers.
Can be a slow and insidious killer.
So the way this game is looking, that was I guess, a not very helpful rotation by the Dire. At the very least, they diverted some of the resources from the Axe, maybe made a little bit more space for the Terrorblade, but the pressure is ongoing. They're trying to just keep pushing forward and just take that space away from the Terrorblade. The Zeus ulti comes out, and that claims no one, even though it came very close to claiming MIPZ's life down bottom. There's a 3-man rotation. He just lost his ult, so this will be a meaningful death. He gets that Wraith delay, but dies. Before he really manages to do anything besides throw out an extra stun.
Dire's middle tower is ravaged by the enemy.
Not certain yet. It looks like they are going a Blink Dagger on the Dragon Knight, looking to turn up that pace. Going for a Blink Dagger on the Slardar as well, so hopefully they get these two items fairly quickly. Zeus, on the other hand, going for that Phylactery, and I missed a kill on AA.
Structures are fortified.
This axe is going to be absolutely balling out of control.
Has been destroyed.
TP comes in, instantly getting hexed, getting just stun locked, and Slardar TP's in just to drop.
Dire's top tower
Axe now getting the taunt off. There's no running away for the Terror Blade. Tries to pop the Sunder, but just not enough time, and it looks like this top tower will be falling. Perhaps the Radiant will look for an exchange in the mid lane. The Dragon Knight form being popped. They did just lose their own tower, however.
Dire's
Things are looking grim for the Dire at the moment. The initial less than 1k gold lead has now turned into a 4k gold lead. In Demon having to run away. Still getting stunned, despite that.
Dire's bottom tower is under siege.
Dragon Knight in some trouble here. Might be dropping. Zeus, ooh, very close. Has his ult up in 13 seconds. It might be the death of him anyways. They kill the AA. The countdown is watching. 200 HP, 300 HP. Will he pop it? I would. I wouldn't get the kill, but I would pop it. And then I'd be sad. Terrorblade's still getting ran at in the top lane. Axe is being a big old bully. The swap comes out, but he's now down to about 300 HP. Rubik trying to drag him away. Ooh, diverting the illusion, I was going to say, to try not to pop those spins, but the spins get popped anyways. The taunt comes out, misses onto the Terrorblade. This is a match of ring around the rosy here. But the pockets full of Posey may, in fact, be the Axe. He is still spinning, though. They're still trying to kill him. They do manage to throw him back, so he doesn't chop the Rubik, and he ticks out to the damage from the Dragon Knight. Zeus comes in for the easy cleanup on that Terrorblade. This game may just become the Zeus show. Well, the Zeus and the Axe show, if that exchange top showed us anything. The stacks in the jungle have been taken, not the ancient stack, however. Axe will probably be able to do that now that he has his Blade Mail. He has level 3 spin. It looks like he's putting a lot of levels into the Battle Hunger, but there's a fight middle with Zeus getting caught, and Wraith King decides to join the fight himself. Crits down that AA, and the Rubik falls to the Zeus.
Vanished children, wraiths clothed in
So the AA needs to get some sort of defensive item up in this game, but hasn't even reached his mana boots yet. That's not necessarily his own fault. His team is having a very, very rough time of it. They need a hero to try and move to alleviate some of the pressure from this Terrorblade, but they've lost their top tier 1. They've lost their mid tier 1. The map is just opening up in all sorts of ways. And now it looks like the Radiant are coming for their bottom tier 1. The Mass Serpent Wards are ready if they want to try and take it. But it doesn't look like that's what they'll do just yet. And they're running at the Axe now, trying to catch him. They do get the stun in from the Dragon Knight, but that may just be a little too much. Ooh, the lift, just briefly cutting off the taunt. The ult comes out from the Zeus, but it's not enough to kill the Slardar. He's going to get away, but it is going to allow them to catch the Dragon Knight. He dies. Meanwhile, ooh, the tick from the Spectral Sword. Killing off the Rubik, and the magic damage. Killing off the Dragon Knight. All that extra... am I stupid? Yeah, no, he does get extra armor. Okay, I was going to say extra armor doesn't matter against magic damage. You know, in a way, that wasn't bad. They did alleviate some pressure off of the Terrorblade, but it's not really helping him all that much. He's 5th in the list of Core's net worth, but at least he isn't in as bad of shape as the Slardar. 700 gold away from that Blink Dagger. He needs to put something together and get some kills. They're chasing the Undying now, but he still has friends close in the area. The Serpent Wards are coming out. They manage to get a lift off onto the Shadow Shaman. He dies. Or does he? Yes, he dies this time. Zeus remains in the area. Tombstone drops. They get to farm that, and the Terrorblade gets to farm all of these juicy wards as well. Zeus is not done yet, though. He is trying to just pick off that Dragon Knight and pop him. But Wraith King coming in to back up his buddy, and they, whoa, almost drop him, but he gets a well-timed Sunder off. Wraith King TPing, going to just fight it out with the Terrorblade. Probably will get stunned, is stunned by the Cold Feet, but ooh. Dragon Knight dying on the backline of the Zeus, while Wraith King tries to just run. Can he armlet toggle his way to this one? No, he can't. That reincarnation popping, and him taking that spectral form. So they think 5. They managed to get 2 kills. That was at least some very good kills. 2,300 gold going the way of the Dire, helping to make up for some of their net worth deficit, and getting Slardar closer to that Blink Dagger, that point in the game where he's going to be able to get on top of the Zeus, get on top of the Shadow Shaman, and really initiate things for them. Maybe some movements at that point can come with the AA ult and some of the damage from Rubik. Shadow Shaman under the cover of an Invis rune. He gets a Hex off. Oh, onto the Terrorblade. The Zeus ult picks him. The double blink taunt. Missing the chop, but nonetheless getting a double kill. The AA and the Rubik simply disappearing to the overwhelming damage. On the bot lane, it looks like they are trying to go onto the Wraith King. He'll die. Yeah, not having his ult back up again. They managed to get a timely pick. 3 for 1 isn't worth it, but making the best out of a bad situation. Those Serpent Wards going to be able to do some damage to the tower. Not actually a whole lot, and I wonder if that was a good opportunity to drop them. Probably not ideal, but you gotta make do with what you gotta make do. Ooh, the blink, the taunt. They're trying to do the damage back to him, but it is just not going to be enough. He gets frozen by the Cold Feet. Will he tick? He doesn't tick. He gets slapped. The Aquaman slam coming out from the Slardar, putting the damage down. MIPZ looks like he wants to move forward. He has that finally elusive Blink Dagger, but he seems to be going around. He knows that it's not about picking off this Undying. It's about picking off the Zeus. They go on to the Undying still, though. He's going to drop, and now they have to kill off the Tombstone. Zeus is staying around the edge, though, still picking at them, still putting that damage, and has an amplified double damage rune. With that Divine Rampage, and with the double damage in the Divine Rampage, it must enhance by 15% after the double damage rune is popped. Ooh, the Blink Dagger does not go off. They're still going to get on top of the Dragon Knight. They throw him back down. Battle Hunger gets taken. A 3-man Blink stun. Easily picking off the axe, the damage ticking onto the Zeus. They're going to be able to get a very decent set of kills here. In Demon dropping as well. It's a wicked 6 streak for the Zeus, and a total of almost a 3,400 gold swing. That Zeus streak going to the AA, not necessarily the hero you want it on, but still quite helpful. And cool guys don't look at explosions, get murked, trusting that Spectral Blade will in fact do the damage. So he is going a Radiance. I was suggesting that's something that he should go against the Terrorblade, against all of those illusions. That mischance is going to be very helpful, especially if Dragon Knight does also go a Manta style. And I missed a kill on a Slardar because I was looking at items. Dragon Knight as well might be dropping. He's not going to get a chance to get his Blink Dagger off with all the Zeus damage coming out. And now Shadow Shaman grabs him, and that is the end of him. The Phylactery is completed. Lightning Hands is completed. Zeus is going to be just crapping out the damage. God, I hate this build. I hate this build so much. It's so annoying to play against. One of the good things you can do against this build, though, is build a Lotus Orb, because every time he right-clicks you, it actually reflects Chain Lightning back onto him. So the Radiant are still firmly in control of this game, although the gold graph has certainly swung back. They have an 89% chance of winning. And a Blink Taunt, catching the Slardar, catching that vital source of initiation. The Crush does come out. Ooh, and the AA ult popping through, but it looks like they might not be able to do anything with it. There is a Tombstone on the high ground that they're not going to be able to get rid of. The Rubik gets caught. He gets chopped down. Very satisfying Culling Blade, and Axe has an extra 6.6 armor. Now that armor is, of course, going to be added to his one-man army passive effect, giving him strength. How much strength is it? 50%! It's not bad. As long as there's no one around, of course, but it's not bad. AA did get a Glimmer Cape. That's going to be helpful. Good magic resist. I mean, it can get revealed by the Zeus, but if the Zeus is using it to reveal you, at least it's not doing full damage to you.
Radiant's bottom tower is threatened by fiends.
A Force Staff may have also been a good item, but you also can't Force Staff some of the people that go on, like the Axe Taunt. That's not really going to be a Force Staffable save. Serpent Wards are dropped middle. Those are still level 1. But they're going to do, at the very least, enough with this Catapult to take the Tier 2. The Shrine, not the Shrine, the Outposts, I still call them Shrines, but the Outpost here can now be taken. Ooh, they found the Terrorblade bottom. He gets taunted, and he will get chopped again by the Axe. Now a total of 10.4 armor harvested by Axe's Axe. MIPZ blinking, getting away as the others are responding. He's able to TP out. We'll see if Zamolxes goes for a cheeky lightning bolt, but he just stops to farm the Ancients. He doesn't seem to know that he's there. MIPZ might be feeling like he could do something. No, he just TP's back. They don't have the vision of him. They didn't know he was there. But the Radiant have a free run of the map. They're able to farm very well. And that gold lead will only grow while Terrorblade is dead and not accumulating gold for his own team. Stop scrolling, stupid fucking mouse. Anyways. No, just be the regular way. Okay. Wraith King has that Radiance completed. That's going to be a very big item for these team fights. Just the ability to burn down the Terrorblade illusions. Going to be quite helpful. A double damage rune bottom that Axe will discover. We'll see if he tries to secure that. No, he just takes it. We have a smoke up from the Dire. They're looking for a target. They see the Axe. That's not an ideal target to go on, but Slardar says, no way, I'm going for these guys. They get the Hex on to the Terrorblade, locking him up, but it doesn't matter that he's locked up. MIPZ is able to just turn, kill the AA. Wraith King, however, does manage to get a kill. Wait a second, what the fuck happened there? Alright, so he killed Undying. Undying instant respawn, that's why. That's where the third kill went. Undying instant respawn with his Ceaseless Dirge. And comes back into it. Okay. 3 people did die there. Overall, definitely going to be a bit of a positive gold exchange for the Dire. Wraith King's next item is a Blink Dagger. He wants to be able to keep up with this Axe. So when Axe goes in, he can just blink in, pour on the pain. Undying has an Egg Scepter. I said the Strength Seal wouldn't be too helpful, but he doesn't seem to think so. So, in order for the Dire to turn this around, I think they need to get some big items. They're getting close to an Aghanim Shard, which will get the Fireball ability for the Dragon Knight. I don't know if that's going to be enough to turn things. Maybe it's a starting point. We'll have to put this conversation on hold, though, for a moment, as the Radiant are smoking up, looking to push into the enemy's Ancients. I'm not sure if the Dire got wind of this, but they at the very least have backed out. No creeps, no Ancients for them to kill in any event. But MIPZ could get caught out. He is running away, doesn't get the blink off in time, probably getting burned by the Radiance, and now they kill him. Kill him so quickly that Axe does not even get his ulti off. The stun comes out from the AA. It's an excellent shard. A lot of fun to play with. Shadow Shaman is still running around smoked. Maybe doing something? Maybe not doing something. We'll see. Terrorblade is split pushing. Doing his best to deal with the pressure, but yeah, the reduced illusion abilities. I don't know. I get the plus 25%, but it just takes away a little bit of his ability to play the map. It's a little bit like the Spectral Blade thing. Wolfie Delta, using that Dragonite form, right-clicking the top tower, getting that corrosive damage into it. But Axe TPing back. Ooh, he blinks forward, throws down the Battle Hunger. The stun comes out. Will he manage to get away? No, he does not. I don't know where he was TPing. That was a long TP, but the taunt getting him anyways. And will be able to successfully Calling Blade him this time. Yeah, Dragon Tail 2.2 second stun. TPs are only 3 seconds. Okay. I don't understand. Ah! Shadow Shaman dies, though. His foul play ability, not enough to help him in this situation. 120 second cooldown on that. Terrorblade has, well, it looks like he has all the items necessary for his butterfly evasion. Very good. I think I would have preferred some more general tankiness. He's going for a Satanic as his next item. That's going to be quite helpful. I mean, the lifesteal is always good, and they don't really have any firm way of reducing it. No one going for a Shiva's Guard, no Spirit Vessel, no AA on the other team. So at the very least, he'll be able to make fairly good use of that item and the lifesteal that it provides. MIPZ doing a decent thing here, trying to see if he can cut the wave bottom. Terrorblade using his illusions to still just split push middle. Trying to buy his team some time, but the Radiant, they don't want to give him that time. They're going for the Roshan. Probably going to put this Aegis, I'm guessing, onto the Zeus. He is the squishiest hero. If he dies as well, he gets a full mana pool that he could use again. Heroes like Zeus, Storm Spirit, Leshrac, those sorts of heroes are always going to appreciate having an Aegis. It is the first Aegis of the Immortal, though, taken at 30 minutes. That's a little late for Aegises. Ooh! Stunning. Canceling that TP scroll. AA, you know, not a big ult, but it's a little annoyances to just cause that psychological damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under fiendish assault.
There's some good defensive wards here from the Dire. I will say that they have, at least from what I've seen this game, the warding from them has been quite good. And now it seems that the Dire have gotten into the stage of the game where they understand they're going to have to split push things out. Tough to do that against a Blink Axe who can always catch you. Tough to do that against a Zeus who can always give them vision of you. But it is something that is available to them. And AA gets picked by the Wraith King. Oh yeah, here's the top lane. That makes sense. Are they going to also pick up the Tormentor? I gotta say, not a lot of objectives being taken. No Tormentors taken prior to this, I'm pretty sure. And Roche only being taken 27 minutes into the game. Usually you see things come out a little bit faster, but they get their Tormentor. They get a shard on the Rubik. That's maybe a helpful save. It's certainly going to be a helpful save against Axe Taunt. You just pick up your ally, you throw him away. They'll walk back a little bit, but you know, it's like your friend going back to one of their abusive exes. Just some distance is always good.
Dire's bottom tower is under siege.
So I ended up not going for that shard, instead going to try and finish the BKB on Dragon Knight. I gotta say I agree with that. A lot of magic damage, a lot of control from the Radiant. Their ability to get those BKBs is going to be helpful. Terrorblade pushing out mid lane for his whole life. Ooh, the Zeus is on him though. Might be a little difficult for him to run away. Is he going to get the swap off? He does get the swap off and burns the Aegis right away. There's now no minimum health threshold. They smoke up, they try and get him, but he is just outside of the range. Axe has ran forward, he got sight of him. they have vision because of the Watcher. They get it out. And now he will drop, but I'm not mad if I'm Terrorblade, honestly. That seems like an alright exchange. You've got the Aegis. Force them all there. You got buyback. You don't really want to use it, but at least you're getting some damage as well on their top tower. But it does look now like they're going to try to position mid lane, take that tower. The Shadow Shaman going to maybe drop his wards to help with that. Drops a ward that gets immediately taken. The Tombstone is down. That's going to be tough to fight. They go onto the Dragon Knight. That lift up, takes him, pulls him away. Out coming the ult from the AA, but the AA just gets gone on. Ooh, we'll see if he procs to the Spectral Dagger. He does not. He gets to live. Not Spectral Dagger, Spectral Strike. Now, the Dragon Knight is taunted as well. He does have the BKB at least. He's not going to be affected by that stun. We'll get to walk it off. The Blade Mail ticking, but not ticking. And oh, the Battle Hunger might be enough to catch him. It is not. He gets back to the fountain safely, and Rubik gets blinked on by the Wraith King, who just kills him off. Terrorblade's now alive, though. He can kill all of those wards, and they bought back. No, so they didn't buy back. They bought time to keep. Ooh, and MIPZ also getting a pick-off. Killing the Shadow Shaman off in the enemy's jungle. Trading his life, but drawing back through the Radiant. This is certainly shifting into a bit of a war of attrition. The gold exchange positive for the Radiant, but it doesn't seem to be over yet. Running away with the haste rune. Getting away successfully. Terrorblade getting ever closer to that Satanic. I think, what, 1,300 gold? No. About 2k gold away. Might have to come back and defend his base, though. They know the Slardar is gone. That's a significant source of not of direct damage, but of ability to enhance damage that they're going to be missing. To be fair, they are also missing their Shadow Shaman and their Shadow Shaman wards. In light of that, they back up. They back up underneath vision. A Sentry ward comes out. Ooh. Undying stops to deward that and gets thrown to the high ground. The Radiant are coming over to help their friend. Tombstone gets popped. Decay gets stolen. They're just hitting. Ooh, they do manage to get the Tombstone. AA ult is going to certainly guarantee a kill. It guarantees a kill onto the Undying, who respawns immediately and is able to come back. Rubik buys back into the fight. Wraith King getting stun locked. He'll probably drop. However, Axe blinks and gets the taunt on the backline onto the Rubik. No one can save him now, but they throws the Axe further in. That is bold of him. Ooh, Terrorblade gets caught. The damage coming out, not enough to kill him. He doesn't have ult, but it looks like Wraith King just wants to fight, knowing that he has that second life. He pops. He's slowing them all down. They stun him right off the bat. He is not getting hit with the Corrosive Haze. Now he's hit with the Corrosive Haze, and they do manage to kill him for a second time, but he is just hitting. He will eventually pop. It is not enough. I believe that was a 3-for-1 with a buyback. 3-for-2, sorry, with the dieback on Rubik. But I'll wait for the fight recap. Yep. So, a significant swing. Not negligible by any means. A lot of, started off with a good pick, throwing that Undying onto the high ground, getting that Tombstone dropped, and now he has more than enough gold for the Satanic. Going to be able to complete that. Going to give him a lot more staying power in those fights, and certainly just help. If Axe taunts him with Blade Mail, he'll be able to just pop that Satanic afterwards and lifesteal all the way back up to full. We'll see if Dragon Knight does actually finally go his shard. He's been taunting me with this in the quick buy all game. I personally hope he doesn't. There's probably some better things for him to get. But it might be what he does. Ancient Apparition. One of the nice things about playing this hero is you got the Ice Vortex, so you can place wards, places where, let's see if he does it. No, he doesn't. He just puts it on the high ground. But you can place a ward like here, for instance, and then it will also give you vision up there. Sorry, it gives you vision up there because you can use Ice Vortex to see it. Roshan, 45 minutes, 42 seconds away from possibly respawning. We'll see if they do manage to pick that up next and go for another high ground run. It's 35 minutes in the game, now only a 5k gold lead. If the gold lead stays the same and time goes on, technically the percentage difference between the two teams is only getting smaller. And MIPZ getting a kill on the Undying. That graph, the win percentage chance has now gone down to 70-30. That's certainly better from where it was when it was 92-8. At what was that? What would that be? The 12-minute mark? Yeah, about 12-minute mark. So just shortly after the laning stage. MKB, you got a butterfly. It's good. It's helpful. You got a Zeus. Zeus doesn't care about evasion though. All his spells work through evasion. Spell evasion would be an interesting mechanic though. Certainly something to consider. Valve, if you're listening, you're not listening. There's only one other person watching this, so if you're from Valve, person currently watching this, consider adding spell evasion to the game. Roshan has respawn top. They go on it. He yells out in anger. Zeus pops the ulti, showing everyone where, showing where the enemy team is. And knowing that they're not going to be contesting, they're just going to be split pushing, getting some damage onto the bottom lane. And I think they're going to put it potentially onto the Zeus again. Yeah, he does get the Aegis. Hopefully able to use that full HP and full mana pool the way that he wants to. Shadow Shaman looking to pick up a Yule's Scepter of Divinity and Axe. As a Bloodstone, I guess that increases Taunt AoE. I wonder if it increases Spin AoE. It probably does. If he gets the 100 Berserker's Call AoE, he's going to be able to pull a lot of people in. They're gathering. I wonder if this is potentially for a smoke, or at the very least some sort of unified movement. Shadow Shaman going to be smoking them up. Misses the Wraith King, but that's okay. They can just tag him. Make sure he is all nice and smoky as well. I don't know why Shadow Shaman just lost the plot there, but he backed off. I don't think the decay would have been revealed there. Or should have revealed it there. But it didn't. All those spells coming out from the Zeus, though, probably definitely did. Slardar is top lane, using that ninja gear to just split push, it looks like. Try to get something productive done on the map and make some space for his team. Crush is top lane. I don't know why I keep zooming in like that.
Radiant's top tower is under fiendish assault.
So the top tier 2 is taking quite a bit of damage, and the Radiant might feel pressure to do something here, especially if the Dragon Knight does show on the bottom lane. Oh, I would be careful standing that close to each other to kill that Nimbus. Tombstone gets dropped down. The blink comes out from Axe, but it's not enough to catch the AA. They back off. AA Yule Scepters up to get rid of that Battle Hunger. Battle Hunger then coming out on Rubik. There's a lot of damage just stopping this Axe. Axe might be in some trouble. He cheeses up before Wraith King just steps in and obliterates the Rubik, obliterates the AA. Both of those heroes are dead. But meanwhile, Dragon Knight, BKB TP's back home. It is not enough. At the very least, does get some good damage on the tier 3, does force out the Serpent Wards, does buy some space and alleviate the pressure that was on that mid lane. Wraith King has decided that he is tired of this Slardar split pushing. He has gone top to get on top of him. They're hunting him with the axe as well, but no, he just TP's out, gets away, and now they're looking to get a kill. Some non-stop action here. Zeus getting gone on. Reflection doesn't hit anybody, and Wraith King, Terrorblade has to settle for killing off that Nimbus. It's going for that Assault Cross, even. I didn't touch the scroll wheel. Why is it zooming in? Getting closer to that AC. Going to be reducing damage armor even more. Oh, comes Tombstone onto the high ground. Going to be giving some good vision a lift. Ooh, that double taunt. Rubik getting one hit. Terrorblade getting cleaved down by the axe. The mid lane. Gonna try and cut it here, I think, with the Slardar, but they already have creeps middle. They don't have a Roshan's banner. They got the cheese, but you know, at the very least, they're gonna be able. My apologies for yawning. They're gonna be able to just go high ground.
Thanks to their flawed tactics.
Dragon Knight going down bottom again, though. His BKB is on cooldown. He's gonna get grabbed. Ooh, getting the Nimbus dropped, getting the Serpent Horns dropped. That's a lot of pressure. Two people go back. They taunt him. They are pissed. Goodness gracious me. That is a hell of a lot of commitment to that Dragon Knight. Serpent Wards are on cooldown. The only thing I think those three heroes didn't drop there was Tombstone. Even the Zeus wasn't there and dropped something for him.
To desperate fiends, it finds itself easily discarded.
Slardar is behind them again. They know this. They're trying to find him. He crushes and the wave disappears. The Aegis has now been reclaimed. Zeus is topped up on mana, but he's not going to have the safety and the security of the second life like his Wraith King has. There comes a point in the game as a support hero where Dota stops being a MOBA and starts being a horror game. And when you have a Wraith King who's this farmed, it's happened. It is that type of game. They go in, they get the minus armor down. Wraith King is just going to commit onto the Terrorblade, try and beat him down. The Lotus Orb comes out, preventing him from taking it, but he blinks again forward. He's very determined to take down this Wraith King. Wraith King still has his Satanic. He hasn't used it yet. Oh no, he did use it. But Wraith King has died. He's died twice. The tower is still standing. There's still a tier 3 toppy top pot. Say that 3 times fast. Dies. Instant respawns in the fountain. So that's a 2 for 1. But really with the Rubik dying right at the beginning, it's a 2 for 0. Again, close to a 4k gold swing back the way of the Dire. So the Radiant are controlling the map. They're doing a really good job of building these leads and choking out the Dire, but going high ground has just proven to be very difficult for them with the way that this Dragon Knight and this Slardar have been able to just kill waves, push out the map, and make a lot of pressure for them. Speaking of Slardar, why can I not? Oh, there we go. Oh, they might both be going AC. I hope they talk about that so they don't both get it accidentally. But it looks like Slardar will be going it. The mid lane, they get the jump onto Dragon Knight. Through comes the ult from AA. It's not enough. They do kill very easily. Kill off the Dragon Knight. Trying to run away on MIPZ, but it's not going to be enough. He gets taunted. They're spinning. They're whirling. They're twirling. The damage is insurmountable, but the status resistance and that life regen helping him live for as long as he can. AA trying to move, trying to juke, trying to drive. He maybe got seen there. Nope. He gets the TP. Oh no, they saw him. They blinked. They get the axe call. Poor AA. So just as I was extolling the virtues of the Dire, they run out of base, get caught, and struggle to fight. So firmly showing that the Radiant are still in control of this game. Buyback on Terrorblade. Axe blinks in. I don't know if that was wise. Getting stunned, the minus armor, trying to do damage back. He is going to be in more than a little bit of trouble here. The heal trying to come out from him dying. It's not enough to keep him alive, though. And Terrorblade walking forward strongly, chasing down Toppy Top Pot. I actually do like that name now that I've said it a couple times. Zeus is running out of mana as well. I don't know if this is something they want to fight, but oh no, run AA! Puts him up in the air. Wraith King going to maybe just try and fight this one out. He gets killed for the first time. They kill the Slardar on the backline, but he's taking up a lot of their time. And Wraith King dies. He lives! Oh, he lives again. He's going to pop now, though. But not before getting his revenge on that Terrorblade. Terrorblade is dead for 93 seconds. Dragon Knight coming in, going to get a kill. Ooh, maybe he doesn't get a kill. He puts him up in the air. No, he will definitely die off to all of that damage over time, killing him. Zeus, the last man left standing from the Radiant, TPing back out of mana. So, overall, a chaotic fight. Both teams get some gold. More gold, of course, going the way of the Dire, given that they got more kills and were already behind in the game. I do believe there were some buybacks to start that off, of course, that weren't acknowledged by the fight recap, so that does slightly change things. In reality, it's probably more... Oh, hold on, while it's showing the graph. Am I stupid? I might be stupid. At the very least, as the game goes later and later, this win probability graph dips further and further away from the Radiant. Now, of course, it's still 65-35, but a couple minutes ago it was 70-30, and even earlier in the game it was 90-10. Just goes to show you don't ever give up in Dota. We don't have a surrender button. As much as I want one some days. It's pretty hard to see what Axe can do to get stronger. Realistically, he's going to get the upgraded Blink Dagger. He can eat his Aghanim Scepter and replace it with something else. Maybe a heart, something to make him even more tanky, but I'm a little unsure as to what he's going to be able to pick up that's going to make a significant difference in this game. Zeus, also fairly tricked out, can eat his Ag Scepter, put it in. I wouldn't. He doesn't have any AoE abilities, so Bloodstone really doesn't help. I think he already has an Octarine Core, so maybe a Wind Waker, something to just help give him a little bit of extra survivability. And Roshan has respawned for the third time. Now it does have an Ag Scepter that can be eaten. Did you put that on Wraith King? I feel like you put that on Wraith King. Giving Zeus, a couple extra seconds to just pump out spells. Giving Axe a couple more spins, maybe a couple more taunts. That would be very helpful. But aren't they untargetable? No, because they can be stunned. They respawn faster. Well, that's baller. And Reincarnation is a lower cooldown. That's actually quite good as well. Meanwhile, the split push is still happening. MIPZ is still just able to run in, blink down a wave, or crush down a wave, and then run away. And indeed, it looks like the Radiant are intent on just committing top. We'll see if this ends up being worth it. There's not a lot of D-push set up. Wraith King trying to be a strong, independent Wraith. Walking forward. Axe, the blink, the call, onto 3. That's huge. Out comes all of the spells from Zeus, popping a refresher. AA has to Yule Scepter to survive. Ooh, Slardar is just disappeared in the midst of all of that, and a buyback comes out from Terrorblade. Yeah, I would tip that Axe too. That call was huge. Wraith King gets stunned. He has an Aegis though. They put it on him this time, not onto Zeus. He also has the Aviana's Feather. Apparently he likes flying. Reincarnation is spent, does still have that Aegis, so there's 3 lives to get through, and Indemon in the meanwhile has dropped the Mass Serpent Ward in the mid lane. Just getting that tier 3, pushing that down. Now without Slardar, they are missing a significant source of, like I said, damage enhancements. Demon Zeal coming out. He's now bought his shard. And he's trying to go forward, but I don't think that's a good idea. He dies. That is in fact a die back. I mean, Aegis is now claimed, but they have no real sources of damage here. Dragon Knight didn't come back. He was split pushing in the bottom lane, and they are going forward, getting the easy kill on the AA, and Wraith King just giving Rubik the business. And with that 99 seconds of cooldown, they're going to take the tier 4s. A huge end of game fight. And After holding on for so long, Dire, or the Dire held on for so long, but Radiant seemed to finally be like they're claiming this one. I'd be very scared if I was Rubik here. Like I said, there comes a point in Dota 2 where it stops being a MOBA, it starts being a horror game. When you're a support against a Wraith King who can one-hit you, it's that game. Wraith Fire Blast is stolen. It's probably not going to be enough to save the Dragon Knight. Oh, at the very least, it helps Axe miss his Calling Blade. Oh, lordy. Oh, he actually didn't do too bad there in terms of living. Picking up, throwing the Wraith King in. Wraith King gets stunned. He might just drop to the Rubik. The Aviana Feather evasion not helping him. Reincarnations pop on the back line. In jumped the Slardar. He had been there for a minute, I think, actually. I'm very surprised that he hadn't died earlier. Axe trying to get a kill on Rubik very successfully. And he backs off. The Tier 4. Tier 4's falling. Ancient's falling. And not prepared. Takes game 1 with a 30k gold lead. Kudos to the Dire, however, for making them work for it. So thank you everyone for watching that game, or this game. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all tuning in. For me personally, the MVP of this game, I would say it goes to the Axe. He did a great job in lane, pressing the Terror Blade, not giving him a lot of space. And yep, they can GG out. I think they just chose not to, because why not? They at least had hope, I think, until about the last 2 minutes, so it was worth for them to fight. But I do think they did very well, making them work for it. Yeah, so again, MVP for the Radiant has to be the Axe. Took away a lot of that map space. My MVP for the Dire. See, Slardar didn't do well in lane, but he did do an excellent job of split pushing. Same with the Dragon Knight. I think, honestly, I felt their effects more, the most in the game, as the ones who really pestered the Radiant, really put the pressure on them, and really made them work for it. I'm going to take a bit of a break before the next game. Oh, boy. Oh, what do you mean this... Maybe that's the wrong password. There we go. I'm going to take a bit of a break before the next game. Go to the bathroom. You know, maybe make myself some tea. But I will just mute myself, and I will be back.